Hey, it's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. Gail Bennington on maternity. No, Gail's
back,
here!
baby!
Gail is back.
I am back. As a new mother, I have a lot to learn about working life.
I guess you'll bring your experiences back to work with you.
Yes, and I'll bring my work home.
That's good, I guess. Then you can scream at the baby, Mommy's working. Well, you got the baby in with you today. Is that going to happen most days or some days?
It'll
or are you just going to work it out?
I'm going to work it out. I'm going to see how it goes. I thought this was a good soft transition. This is a soft open of Gail Bennington.
2.0.
Which means limited menu.
Oh, is that what happens on a soft open?
Yeah, like
you're
they're
trying to
just
figure out. Do you want to try that one? Yeah.
You know, chairs are new for me. As a new mom, I don't really use chairs anymore.
Well, you've got your lovely rocking chair. Yeah.
Oh my God, so sweet! You can take her out to see her.
Take her out to see Hoda. Hoda's at the.
Oh my God, so sweet.
How cute is that? Hold.
Yeah.
Oh, look, everybody's coming around to see the new baby. We should really get that picture of her hanging out with Hoda.
I know.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding.
Come on in.
Come on in. We're gonna have.
1 second.
We're gonna have.
Oh my God, that baby.
Yeah.
She's 3 months. She's just turned 3 months.
What's her name?
Juliet.
Yeah.
Hi, Juliet. Hi.
Now here's what.
Oh my God, she's so cute.
Today is my first day back.
Oh my, well, we've been waiting for you, but I did not know that she was this.
Yeah, she's adorable.
We've been waiting for you, Juliet.
Well, if you ever need her for your show, go ahead and help yourself.
No, we do need her.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah.
The best moment of my day just happened.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have fun.
Oh, so cute.
No one congratulates the grandfather. I think that's the bigger thing.
You know, people like babies.
They
Does
do.
well.
People do like babies.
This is going to be a great storyline for us, guys.
Look at Juliet. Doesn't even care that she just met the host of the Today Show.
You are so humble.
That's so cute. That it really is.
sweet.
That's why they tell guys to go places with a baby or a puppy, and all the great women will come over.
And for ladies, a baby is a total dick magnet.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
I think it's like dick repellent.
See, I used to think in the old days, instead of taking a baby around, I used to just take a bunch of coke around, and I'd be like, "This
That
will
works
impress the
really well on
ladies."
girls.
Yes, some girls, and quite frankly, the ones that you want to meet.
And I wish women would be more honest about that.
Yeah.
He's funny and he always has coke, and that's pretty much it. But I love him.
By the way, he's funny until he gets wired on coke, and then the wit just goes out the window, and then you get paranoia and anger. But isn't that funny? Here she is, 3 months old. She's already met the host of the Today Show. This would have been like me when I was a baby meeting Dave Garroway. Just not something. I'm the only one who knows. Dave Garroway was the first host of the Today Show.
Oh.
And Vito, you would have liked this. He used to have a monkey. Yeah. He was just like an organ grinder.
Oh, okay.
Which is your nationality's favorite type of entertainment.
I don't think it's our favorite type of entertainment. I've heard they like soccer. We like soccer. Organ monkeys.
Easy, man. Easy, dude.
Sorry.
You don't bring that energy around the baby.
Yeah.
You're right.
Right?
She doesn't understand racism. She was born in 2018, so she's so 2018.
Okay.
This is why, under no circumstances, has Hoda ever wanted to come in and meet you.
I know. Hoda normally just gives me like a happy smile, but then she's on her way. She's a busy lady.
Yeah.
But when you have a baby, Hoda takes time.
It's very important to her. I didn't realize.
By the way, is it weird that you're back just as daylight savings time is over? I guess.
Yeah, it was a weird time for it to happen because already everything shifted.
I remember last night at the end of the 4:00 game, I'm like, "Well, good night, everybody," and everyone's like, "No, Grandpop, you're trying to go to bed too early."
You're confused. Now this was the one where you get the extra hour sleep.
Yeah.
I think. But none of that matters for me. That doesn't apply because
Why?
I'm on my own weird. Time doesn't exist. Nighttime does not exist the same way with a baby.
Well, you gotta get yourself together, or else the baby is going to sleep weird hours.
Yeah, I mean she's coming up. Look, as a new mother, there's a lot for a lot of adjustments that you guys aren't going to understand.
Yeah.
I'm a night owl.
Oh, really? That baby stays up late at night?
No, she just wakes up a couple times. She's actually a pretty good sleeper.
Yeah.
But she gets randomly hungry in the middle of the night, which I can relate to. I can get that.
Yeah. What's wrong with getting up and making a little sandwich for yourself? I think Earl could attest to that. Hey, did you? Oh no, because you come right from the bottom up.
Yeah.
Fox News is decked out. They've redone the whole thing.
Oh my gosh, I want to see.
It's like they're planning on a big win.
Wow.
And I just yelled across the street, "We're gonna do it, dudes!" And they were all, "Yeah!"
Yeah.
Very exciting to everybody and nerve-wracking to other people, But
Well, people in news are certainly excited.
Of course
and then
they are.
people in life seem like they're on the verge of throwing up.
and then
No matter who you are, you're just nervous.
some people are like, "I don't like to vote. I do not want to end up on jury duty."
Now, I don't know what changed while I was on maternity leave, but did Vito finally register to vote? Is this still the young people don't vote?
No, he's registered to vote in the next Italian Revolution, where there'll be a coup when they drag Mussolini. That's an Italian vote. Drag Mussolini around the town square by a fucking jeep while other people cheer. Vito, you registered to vote?
I am not registered to vote.
Good. Now I know because you live in New York, everybody thinks that everybody's liberal here. But I went up to, and I hope I'm saying this word correctly, Poughkeepsie. and I wanted to go up and I said, before I get there, make sure the audience is as drunk and fired up as you can possibly be. I go, I want to ride that wave as long as I can. And I would say like it was a fairly split room on Trump, anti-Trump. It was a divided room, which was fun to see for me.
Yeah, I feel the farther north you go, like the Trump sign starts.
The farther north you go, the more south you are. That's what I like to say.
That is a good saying, and very true of the state of New York.
By the way, Poughkeepsie was just a ball, just so much fun, and I kid you not, where it was one of the drunkest rooms I've ever walked into, including any New Year's Eve, VJ Day was not as drunk as this room.
Did you take the time to walk across the longest footbridge?
Well, it was pretty cold, and that footbridge, I don't even know where it starts. It looks like it doesn't even start in town.
Yeah, it's crazy. It looks like it
really
goes from
high.
woods to woods.
Yeah.
It goes.
Did it used to be a train went over there?
I'm not sure what it was, but it was only probably like 10, 15 years ago when they opened it as this long pedestrian bridge. But it's super high up. It's
crazy high.
It looks scary.
And you can't tell from the pictures how high that is. But it was so cold that even if I had time, I wouldn't have done it. Plus, there had been, I had checked the local Poughkeepsie News to see if, maybe there was something fun I could throw into the show. Because I like to rip it from the headlines. And the number of unsolved shootings that had happened in a couple days. And it didn't look like, I don't mind if I ever see like a gang shooting or a wife shooting a husband or, a mobster shooting a guy who was. It's this random shootings that are weirder to me.
It's the random shootings that'll get you.
I mean, I don't want to go up there. I didn't have enough time in town to solve the Zodiac killings. But I would think that there's a Zodiac killer there from what I saw on Poughkeepsie.com. Also, in the first hour I was there, 3 people told me how excited they were that the new Golden Corral is opening back up.
What?
They're like, too bad you're not here in 2 weeks. The Golden Corral is going to be on. And I go, I don't see myself going to a Golden Corral. And then the guy said to me, there's a he goes, you can't go wrong with an $11 buffet. And I said, well, I disagree.
You can go real wrong.
The entire idea seems wrong. Look at the baby just watching now from her little perch. She's like, why are they doing a show over there? What is my area?
She's used to the show being directly in front of her. She's loving all these TVs. I mean, she's loving these TVs.
Well, these TVs are not babysitters. Remember that, Gail.
They work so well, though.
Yeah. I think just a half an hour a week, either educational or sports related.
So you don't ruin your appreciation of the finer things.
And she's got a little ring to play with.
She's already doing this thing where if I try not to let her, just purposefully let her watch TV, but she hears it and it's just too tempting. Like she'll arch her back, look around, like, where is that big moving box?
Look, it's a world of screens that we live in.
Yeah.
And her world of screens is, she's probably going to work.
Yeah, that's right. She has a lot to say about this.
Yeah. Your world's ahead of you. Mine's behind me. But I wouldn't trade it with you.
But
your problems are going to be vast.
You could see how well she does with FaceTime. Like she locks in on you and she's FaceTiming.
Yeah. Yeah, she would rather FaceTime than be on the phone at 3 months old.
Which, most elderly people aren't able to grasp FaceTime.
Hey, I didn't understand it for a while.
It's like upside down. I don't know how to be in front of the camera.
German beer hall?
It's from Poughkeepsie.
Where'd you get that at?
It's on our Instagram, Bennington SXM.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, you can see how it's set. Like everyone always says, hey, it's weird the way they set up in New York in the middle of the room and then you have 2 sides.
Mm-hmm.
But just working straight deep was... this really does look like how the Nazi party started in Germany.
It does.
Yeah, it was but everybody was so great. Everybody was so fun and nuts. And I saw my friends, Omi and Diana were there, right?
Nice.
And I saw them after because it was a really rowdy crowd, but I'm comfortable with that. And we all made it a ball. And then they said to me, I don't think any of these people have ever been to a comedy show before this one. I don't think they know what happens here.
Comedy.
Baby's got a little cough going right now. Man, she really holds on to that ring, huh?
Yeah.
You get a string on the end of that and she starts to pull herself back and forth. We could have a little gymnast on our hands. What's our great gymnast name? Simone what?
Biles.
I don't know what you guys, something like that. So the championships, she's so much better than she was at the Olympics. I mean, she was the greatest of all time, and now she's way better.
Man, when she came into Sirius XM and I saw her walking down the hallway, first of all, I felt like starstruck because I've never really seen like an Olympian like that. Mm-hmm. And then I was just shocked by her. She's so tiny and strong. Like it's crazy.
She's crazy tiny.
Just the teeniest thing, but all muscle.
Yeah. And then she's able to fly, like literally stay in the air. She's unbelievable. Look who it is. It's our friend Laurie. Whoops. The whole thing just went out. The entire phone system went out.
Laurie, hold on.
If she's still there even.
Please, Laurie.
Who sets this room up during the daytime?
Oh my God.
Oh God, now you knock stuff over.
On my first day?
Yeah. First day back turned into a goddamn nightmare.
This is terrible.
Is that her from the other day?
Yes.
All right, just go ahead and hit it fast, and then I'll go to Laurie. You just got to see her, Gail. You remember her from the
Yeah.
Olympics where we thought she was the best. By the way, she hasn't grown an inch.
Holy shit.
That's like some kind of Spider-Man thing.
She's
It's
a
a
superhero.
Marvel.
Yeah, she's a superhero. Damn.
Oh, good news for you, Gail, and for everybody else. We have back Earl's DNA test.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm back for this.
I have been calling him Sacagawea because I don't believe that he is Indian, like he said. He believes he's 10% Indian. So we will find out. But you are excited, Earl.
I'm psyched about it.
I kind of feel like we're going to find out that you're African American. Anyway, here's Laurie. Laurie, how are you, darling?
Oh, very well, thanks. And yourself?
Now, did you go back to work after you had the baby?
I postponed it an extra month because I was just physically not ready. I had a rough delivery, and we had a rough time getting into a groove with sleep and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went back after 4 months, part-time. I'm still part-time.
Oh, you're still part-time?
Yeah, well, we're kind of doing this, either Larry has Zoe or I do, so he's working full-time.
That's nice.
And I'm working part-time.
I have a lot to learn from you.
Well, luckily, radio is part-time.
Well,
And plus,
true.
this is an easy place to bring a baby to.
Yeah, so I just, Zoe was just getting up from her nap right as I was turning on the radio and hearing that Gail was back. So I thought that Zoe would want to say hi to Juliet.
All right, go ahead.
All
Let's see if
right.
she can do it.
Really, she just wants to play with her toys.
Yeah.
Zoe, do you want to say hello? She hasn't mastered actually verbally saying hello. She's
Okay.
smiling and waving.
And Juliet, do you want to say hello?
Pop, pop. Oh my God. Her
Did
first
she?
words.
Good girl.
Oh, well.
All right, Laurie. Thank you, darling.
Bye, Laurie.
Bye. Oh, you never kiss Chris like that.
No.
Never.
This is a new thing I do with my favorite coworker.
Chris, when you have your baby, are you going to just teach her in Espanol?
I'm not planning on having children.
Well, yeah,
No
but
one plans on it.
it'll be yeah, what do you mean? Plan. But bilingual baby, that's pretty cool.
Man, you can sell them big on the open market.
I'm not looking to, even if I had a baby, I'm not looking to sell it, and I don't want any children.
Seriously, do you guys
Yeah, but what about your girlfriend?
No, we don't want children.
Well, ask her
I'll ask her again.
again. And wait.
Yeah.
I'll bring her around
Okay,
because
you
that'll
wanna come
change your
with?
mind.
make that stir?
Look, it could be one of these.
Yeah. He is so goddamn cute.
This is so crazy for me to have her here.
Should we buy a playpen and keep it here or something?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
We could have a foldable little pack and play.
Like a little pack and play we can set up every day.
She's loving it. I'll tell you that. She seems psyched.
She is psyched. Earl, send me that picture too. When I see you again. There's also a picture up on Instagram of 3 new girlfriends that I made for myself that night.
Really, a lot has
Yeah.
changed since
Yeah.
I've been gone.
Wow. That was crazy.
That was really
Yeah,
weird.
these girls were really, really fun. I think they came in from Newburgh or something.
I
don't
think
know
you
all
look
the
great
names.
with all of them. You
Yeah, I
seem
know.
like you need 3 girlfriends.
The fact is, we all get along perfectly together, too.
It seems like it could be like a new show. My 3 girlfriends.
Have you left the baby with anybody but your husband yet?
Mm-mm. Nope.
You nervous about that?
Yeah,
Now, you have a dog walker for Birdie, right?
I do.
Why doesn't she just carry the baby, too?
That's a good idea.
I mean, if you trust her with Birdie, why not trust her with Juju?
Just throw a little extra 5 ski her way.
I thought for the same price you're here anyway. Where's Vito walking around?
Oh no, that was kind of scary. I just saw him like poke his
okay?
head out from behind the door.
It's like having a bad boyfriend who you broke up with. God, look at this stupid picture, Earl. He got her from behind. How are you a photographer, Earl?
She was moving around too fast.
Well, then you have to move around too.
I was moving with her, and I kept going lateral.
Yeah, you have to move opposite of her to get the picture of her face.
Earl, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
We can't show this. This is Hoda's hair.
How do you make mistakes like that? And look at the baby looking at Hoda.
I know, she loves her. That is so cute.
That's how you get to be on the Today Show. You have to have that kind of charisma that everybody's drawn to you.
And she knows talent when she sees it.
Yeah.
She's like, this Hoda has got it.
Whatever it is. You know, I wish I could put it in a goddamn paint can. Earl on the other hand side. All you had to do is take one step to the left.
I was moving lateral. She kept going this way. I was trying to get around her. I couldn't get around her.
Do you understand that the great photographers are there for the moment? You know?
It happened very quickly, and I apologize.
That's how everything happens. What are you, a war photographer going like this? I just missed it.
I miss when he got shot.
Oh, I put it as the flag already went up on Hiroshima, and the guys were all eating a sandwich. They actually said that they made them redo that.
Really?
Because the photographer missed the shot. They go, could you guys just do that again? It looked cool. Hard rock, Johnny.
Hey,
Benningtons. It's plural again, even though I kept saying it. And Gail, I'm glad you're back because maybe you can take control of this crazy party that we're supposed to be doing in a couple weeks.
Why? What's happening?
Yeah, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but you know.
Don't worry, Mother's back.
Tell us the
right,
truth.
good.
What is going on? Because they're putting all kinds of stuff before this show too.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
I think we're all right.
what's going wrong? Who haven't heard back from?
I talked to Chris the other day, but Chris is very tight-lipped. He goes, "Well, we're going to do some stuff. Then we're going to, then we have this. Then we're going to do some stuff." Like very like I'm. I think he thinks I'm like writing for Page 6 about Bennington gossip.
I'm gonna get you two talking again.
Are you afraid that you can't trust him with who some of the guests are?
I can trust Johnny completely. I'm just I told him some things that are happening. That's all. And he's in the loop. He's in all the loops.
I don't know if I'm in all the loops.
What loops do you feel like you're not in on, Johnny? Who the guests are going to be?
I don't care about guests. I just need to know kind of how the show is going to flow so I can make sure from a production standpoint it's handled right. But that's okay. I have back channels now, so I can...
Who are your back channels?
I can't come on. I can't give up all my information.
Well, if it's any of the fucking people here, they've already stabbed us in the back.
No, I mean, that's why they're back channels.
Yeah.
No, I my sources are good. I'm okay with.
Who's your source? Zito?
I can't say who my source is, but no. Don't worry, we're in good. I think we're in good shape. But Gail, I think you might need to just kind of grab the bull by the balls here a little bit.
That's my forte. Okay.
I know that's why I said it.
Come on over, baby.
Oh, this is a baby.
Yeah.
She'll sound so different with a baby.
This is Johnny.
This is Uncle Johnny.
You remember him?
Hi, Juju.
He makes crabs all the time.
Yeah.
And he likes the giants.
Hey, at least they didn't lose this week.
Good, Johnny.
Thanks. I kept using it all week.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's always good. It was nice. I had a week off too. Loved it. Loved not having a game to worry about.
It did feel really good.
Enjoyed the Rams Saints game like it was so much fun. And here was the best thing. So I said to Chris, right, we're doing our little text thing, and by the way, he won't be on the Johnny text. he gives me a separate text that he's going to put some money down on a game, right? Because now, what is it, DraftKings or whatever? It's
FanDuel.
That's where you bet.
Yeah.
So he goes, he can make just straight bets. He goes, I go, look, the Rams aren't going to win every game. You know what I mean? And they go with the Saints. They got a great fucking quarterback. They're playing at home. And the Rams are due to lose a game. You just can't keep going. And he's like, I love the Rams D, right?
Ew.
Rams defense. And we're on our way.
Yeah.
Fucking 5 minutes after he says that, score. 10 minutes after that, another score.
Shootout City.
35 fucking points by halftime.
Yeah.
They had scored on this, what she called the greatest defense since the 86 Bears.
I was really sold on it, Rod.
It tells you how good he is, because if he can't pick that, this weekend was probably the largest loss for the Vegas sports books in their history. They lost over $7 to $10 million on Sunday's games.
Why?
They got crushed. Kansas City, because Kansas City covered, and it was they were big, and Pittsburgh also killed them because there were two big lines, but they both covered.
Yeah, and they're both, Kansas City was on the road, so were the Steelers, I think, right?
Yes, Vegas says Week 9 was a disaster, so this is one of their worst money losses ever.
Bettors love Kansas City this year.
Yeah, they're covering. I think only they haven't covered 1 week, I think, so far.
Wow. Why aren't you jumping on that bandwagon?
I was on that bandwagon the week they didn't cover, so then I fucking stood away.
They had a bad weekend too. I mean, look at the over under in the I think the Saints Rams hit the over under in the third quarter. Actually, maybe before the half, it was like 50 and change.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
It was a crazy weekend. I went 8 for 4. I was happy.
Good for you,
Chris,
Johnny.
Why don't you ask me a little bit, Chris?
Chris, why don't you
First,
get
you don't want to tell me about the show, then you don't want to show me about your bets.
Oh, well, but I saw this, Johnny. You're very tight, too. Whatever this fucking, who's ever running a gossip column out of here. We don't know who you got.
Can't tell you.
Yeah. Who do you
Maybe
bet,
they're not there.
Chris?
I think it's a person that came up already, but he's just making this is
Zito?
subterfuge. Yeah, I think it's Zito. But
I can tell you 100% it is not Zito.
Give us the first initial.
I can't. I'll give it away. Let's just say his name is not Mark. And then also, let's say maybe he's waiting for a DNA test.
Earl? I forgot. Of course Earl's fucking...
I said maybe. I said
sure
maybe.
Earl's running...
I haven't said a word to John. Zero.
Look, dude, we know what he's doing. It's the same as what Italians have always done. Blame the black man while they run their regular fucking game. Why didn't you just let on, Earl? Like, hey, you got me, because I would have known then. Jojo, I'm going to treat you how to be street smart, okay? And that's always watch what the Italians are up to. Okay? All right, buddy.
Maybe it was Earl. Might not be Earl.
Yeah, we know it's not. We know who it is. We know the initial is J.
J.
Yeah. That means get on. Because he would go, yes. He would go, yes, to protect his soul.
Are you blaming the baby? Are you blaming the baby for this? The baby doesn't know.
No, not that baby. That
baby FaceTime me.
No
Tell me
way.
all about the baby
stitches.
FaceTime me.
That baby sees a screen to look at. All right, talk to you later.
Peace,
Later.
Johnny.
All right, Earl, what do you think is going to be like, because this is a sci-fi baby. This baby's going to be dealing with all the sci-fi things. What do you think is going to be the biggest problem of her life? You know what I mean? What is going to be the big thing? What do you got for us, Earl?
I believe her political views.
You're not even paying attention.
I'm going to say the environment.
The environment's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Not her political views. What do you worry about, Gail?
I think just the human connection. Like, where is human connection going to go in a world where like,
Cyborgs.
everything? Yeah.
So you're worried about is cyborgs.
Yeah. Cyborg.
Vito, what are you most concerned for?
He's worried about his full Yadel shortage.
Hey!
I
What do you think she's worried about? The RICO Act, huh? Feds. You know what FBI stands for, right? Forever bothering Italians.
Come on. Oh, stop
Oh, is
dancing.
that your phone? Vito, did your phone just go off? Believe me, that's her grandmother's alarm clock. What do you got, Vito?
I think the student loan is going to turn into
my God, the student loan?
No, the student loans are going to turn into a financial.
Look, I take care of my baby. Okay, what are you trying to say? That's why I'm in here making these coins right here.
Look, forget your problems. It's her problem. It's going to be, the things that they're worried about is AI. They're worried about the world being overly polluted, food, water, disease. Even if you would have said aliens. But you and Earl look like you can't look any further past.
Self-centered.
So please, we tried with you. Look, we're looking at financial crashes.
Yeah.
Right now, there's an alien invasion taking place. There's fucking families walking that are only 900 miles south.
That sounds far.
And they're walking north right now. We've got to do something. And of course, you have to worry about drugs and, all that kind of thing. But I believe this. The number one problem, bring her over so I could say it to her. Juju.
Juju, look.
Oh, she's getting so tired. The number one problem of your life will be a clingy mom. That's number one.
That's
everything else we can deal with.
Helicopter mom.
Yeah. Or I guess
I'm always here.
I guess you would call it a hovercraft mom because I didn't grow up with hovercrafts the way you did. Why aren't you telling Johnny what's going on? I am.
I had a call with him last week. I think he's just making shit up.
Do you know how many people I talk to on a daily basis who tell me, "Oh, I don't know what's going on with your guy. He doesn't communicate with me."
I'm talking to so many people every day. I promise you.
And you're giving them nothing.
It's a give and take. I'm giving. I'm taking. I think they're doing the same. The things I give. But I'm talking to a lot of people every day.
But Smash Bradley just said, "Oh, thank God that the baby has replaced Chris Stanley as EP for the Bennington show."
What?
If you try to push your responsibilities on this little baby.
I know. That's an HR issue because she's not even on the payroll.
Baby. Look at her. This would be fun having a baby in here. Well, if you would have a baby too, we could have two babies.
Oh my God.
This would be like a fun nursery.
This would be great.
Yeah.
I'm not having any babies.
Please hurry up because you want them a nice age distance apart. You know what I mean? You don't want too much.
If they're too much, then Drew's going to think she's stupid and keep hitting her.
And it would be great if you could have a girl.
Grease, you go to work, you leave me with the baby every day. You got to be around here, Poppy. You ever make her call you Poppy?
No, I have not. Not yet.
She just does it willingly.
That's the first thing I'd go.
Sexy.
Poppy. Fun having a baby around here. All right, coming up in the next hour, we will go over Earl's DNA results. Earl, I'm as excited about this as you are. And I said to Chris, he goes, "I got the DNA thing." I go, no. On the air.
Yes.
On the air.
So glad I'm here for this. There's nothing better than a DNA reveal.
Well, particularly in Earl's case, because old Sacagawea has been pulling around. Now, why do you think that you have Native American blood?
This was something my father would tell me about his grandmother. That he doesn't remember much about her. He said she just remember very long hair. She said, but she already had Indian features.
Now, but no one said to her, "Oh, your grandmother's an Indian." But he's going to look. I have never met a black guy who did not say he didn't have a Native American. Here's the two people that always say they've got Native American in their family tree: black guys and truckers. Every trucker will tell me he's part Apache. And then the other thing the truckers say that they know some titty bar that has fucking steaks as big as the fucking tabletop. Now the New York Marathon was this weekend, and our friend Michelle with 1L lit it up.
She crushed it.
Now,
I was tracking her the whole time. And first of all, the fact that she was going to do it to begin with is more than I could even fathom.
I'm stunned.
But she crushed it.
Now, there are like two groups that go, right? We had other friends in the second group.
Mm-hmm.
The first group that comes out, they run so hard. I don't know how they know the difference between the groups. That second group, you see a lot of people by the time they get to First Avenue walking.
Yeah.
But you know what's really fun for me? So I'm on First Avenue, and so many families are there. It's the first place in Manhattan that you can meet. You don't want to meet them in Brooklyn, and then you got to go to so you can meet on First Avenue, head on over, and see them by the time they finish. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can make the walk. So I would see people see their loved ones, right? And sometimes it would be family, and sometimes it would be friends. This girl comes running over. Her friends are going crazy. They're all drinking. She's taking all their drinks and hammer them down. Then she just looks at them and goes, "Fuck!" and starts running, right? Now, while I'm waiting, a lot of people are wearing name tags. So I'll be like, "Let's do it, Carl. Come on, Samantha, you can make this happen." They would all look at me and go like this, "Thank you." It was so funny, the weak thank yous I got. Now, our friend Michelle with 1L, flying past me. I'm at like 16 miles into the 26, flying past me, but the whole crowd, I'm Michelle, but she couldn't hear us. And it was like 3-4 deep into this thing. It's not like, the other fucking boroughs where some homeless person comes out and throws shit at them. I mean, it is packed there. And it's very, very exciting during the early part of the day. Then it starts to thin out, and you see the people who are just willing themselves like they're going to make it no matter what happens.
Man, I had no idea that she was going to be cooking with that kind of speed. I thought she set her mind to this. I know she was training for it, but I never thought that it was going to be. Now, if you look at her time,
see if she's left yet,
compared to an elite athlete.
Well, I did because I had people I knew, somebody you know, and then I had Tiki Barber and Terry Hatcher. I was tracking them because they're the only two celebrities I know. Terry Hatcher, I watched her pass and keep going. She beat Terry Hatcher. She started after Terry Hatcher and beat her by miles.
Yes,
destroyed Terry Hatcher.
Way faster than Terry Hatcher.
And in this full run, her time was 10 minutes behind Tiki Barber's.
10 minutes. That's
world-class athlete, a man whose twin brother will make the Hall of Fame one day.
Man, that shocked me. I would never have thought that she would have been that short a time behind him.
That's unbelievable.
The strength, the endurance.
I would just vomit on the bridge and just.
If you would have asked me, I would have said she didn't have a single athletic bone in her body. I saw her blow up dancing in here one day. We were playing a song, and she was dancing funny, and then couldn't breathe seconds later.
But this last year, she has been a machine. The machine, if you will.
Big Red?
This is funny. Max says, the Bennington show has a baby and a DNA test going on, and it's not what you think. That's so fucking funny.
Earl, you are not the father.
I think there's probably something wrong with his Hey! Yay! Oh, she dropped her ring. Look, does it hit the front? Yay! The other day she was talking so much, wasn't she? Just making up words like
just
an idiot.
Babbling.
Yeah.
She's like, I think this is what you guys are doing with your mouths.
I don't know how you feel about it, but I am so happy with this baby. I don't know whether you're disappointed.
No, I'm very much not disappointed in my
you might
own
be a little
child.
let down because you like having your potty time and stepping out.
No more smoking, drinking.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So much fun. So I was telling you I was at, I hoped I'm saying this word correctly, Poughkeepsie. But they had, you saw, like, it was like a crazy place and so much fun. Laugh It Up.
Laugh It Up Comedy Club.
Yeah, Laugh It Up Comedy Club. I just said Laugh It Up.
I mean, the comedy club was implied, Chris.
Yeah, that goes without saying. What's the thing? Laugh It Up.
.net.
Yeah, so Laugh It Up was plenty. And I had to sign what I would consider a frightening poster of myself. It looked like, what's the guy who's got the stuff coming out of his hands
Wolverine?
here? Okay. I would describe this as ugly Wolverine. And so I go up, and the place is a fucking madhouse. And this one table, completely crazy. I was a little hot in the place. So one of the owners brought me up a cold water, and he's bald-headed, big guy. And the guy goes like this, Bobby Kelly, everybody. And I'm like, you know how mad I am right now that you got a big fucking laugh with that? That's a good baby, huh?
Hey, Juju.
I don't even know if she understands what grandfather is, but
she's working on it.
The way I grew up, the grandfather was the head of everything, right? The grandfather to Americans is what the godfather is to Vito's family.
Would you call it a patriarchy?
Yeah. This is when patriarchies were still cool, okay? But here's the thing. Vito, for you to understand what the grandfather is to white people, consider the godfather, but he doesn't murder people or run gambling, prostitution.
Drugs.
No, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
No, that's
They would only put the drugs in Earl's neighborhood. That was the part of the Godfather, like, that goes too far.
Yeah, when I watched my father, he would always seethe at that part. He goes, see, I told you.
Oh.
My father, he would hate that part of
Yeah, your father was right. It was a well-known fact.
Right.
The Italians always compared black people to a type of vegetable, or as they call it, vegetable. Why they want like that with vegetable, I don't know.
Is the word not complex enough that you want to make it more difficult?
You don't want any vegetables on your plate, do you? And I don't know why they do that.
It's a weird one.
A cute baby. It's like having Sweet Pea in here every day.
Oh, she is.
You didn't think she was going to be this good.
I did not
You
think.
were worried that she was going to be a bad girl.
I was a little worried about it. Because there is something that happens when you're a mom, and you guys won't understand this, of
No,
course.
I don't understand. Yeah.
She knows.
Let her talk.
But when she cries, it's like acid on my skin. It's like your body is telling you, like, immediately address this situation. So I think it's like cortisol levels go like through the roof, and your stress is insane.
You're making her upset.
No, I'm sorry. Don't think about it, Juju. You're doing great.
Now, I know that you're worried, but I go through this with Chris, and you were away.
Right.
But when Chris, he thought he had to fart, and he shat himself. So I had to calm him down.
Yeah.
And I tell him it's something that happened. And then me and 7 other guys changed him.
That felt so much better.
Now you got to be careful. You got to make sure you get in the creases. Because he can get a little infection.
No, we
like
just
that.
left. We there's too many creases here. By the way, Chris doesn't have creases; he has crevices.
They're already caked over.
Oh, Chris.
What is it, baby? What do you want to say? You still mad that Earl messed up that picture?
We all are.
Don't blame him. He loves you. Oh,
That's right. Is that baby hungry? Is that the hungry sound? Just say, can you say food? Listen to your grandfather. Can you like to say, I'd like to have some milk, please? Could you say this? Miss. She's starving. Yeah.
All right.
That's the way I get in a diner. Where's she going?
Heat.
Oh, that doesn't even make sense. Bum, bum, bum. You, worry that she won't make any friends here?
Yeah, I just feel like she's different than a lot of her other coworkers.
I would say this if I was a baby. I would be like, is it just me or I am incredibly short compared to most people? So you do like her or don't like her?
I'm a fan. I'm pretty crazy about her. And to the point that I hope that like it makes me look at other people and just be like, oh God, I hope that I don't act crazy because I'm just like, she's the best, right?
I've found myself showing too many pictures too. And it's really annoying.
I send a preposterous amount of pictures, especially, I'm home with her all day and she does amazing, adorable things. And then I'm on my fifth picture sending you of the day. And I'm like, all right, this might be too much, but
I saw that I lost Pete Lee one night and he was like, no, I really do want to see the pictures. I go, I saw your face, dude. I saw your face where you were sick of it. And like, comedians are always like, who wants, on stage, who wants to look at somebody's baby picture? Then off stage, they're like, oh, how's the baby? I'm like, who am I supposed to fucking believe?
I know.
Pete Lee.
That is the truth about comics. They're very hard on stage, but a lot of them, sweethearts.
I bought this Poland Springs down here. It's so much better than these fucking cuppy cups you guys have.
I know they don't give us bottled water that's cold, so we go for the icy.
But I'm embarrassed
ice water.
that we hand these cups to our guest.
I don't like it either.
Yes, but it's your job to change that. You're the pro what?
Deucer.
Oh,
What's a deucer?
I'm a deucer.
it's a guy who's dropping deuces.
everywhere.
Looks like
thing-
someone needs his change again.
It looks like you and Johnny better get your shit.
Yeah,
fucking-
that worries me. I like when you guys are best friends.
Me too.
Well, here's what bothers me. I try to see myself as a performer, not a producer. And yet all the decisions will come back to me. And I go, what? Why? And it will be, well, we want to know what you want. So it'll always be like, here's a list of 30 things. I don't even get like a list of 2. I'll get a list of like, here's a list of 30 things. And I'm like, this is your job to do. You know what I mean? You're supposed to say, here's the thing that's happening.
That's the deuce of it all.
Now, there was a situation today that Chris alerted me to, and it has nothing to do with Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is going along well, no matter what Johnny believes. But a thing that I said, well, everything was going to happen. And then he comes back and goes, is this your lap? Let me dump all these dead fish in it. And those dead fish were missed opportunities. I don't want anyone to think that they were dead fish. No. I was back home in Poughkeepsie over the weekend, or is it Poughkeepsie? And the next town up is Hyde Park. And there was nowhere there to buy a postcard of FDR. It really is shocking to me that you can't go into that town and not see T-shirts or statues or plates that say FDR on them. That's a joke. They're everywhere. They make your pancakes look like FDR there. Beautiful ride up, too. It's just gorgeous right now. Too bad this rained today because yesterday I would have said that autumn was at its peak. And it's a short thing that you get
It's
with
the
autumn.
best season there is, and it lasts 5 minutes.
That's why I don't give a shit who's president. We're going to have the same autumn problem no matter what. If I was running for president, how would you like 7 months of autumn? 2 weeks of winter, 2 weeks of summer, and then 2 short autumns with springs sprinkled without. I'm outside having a smoke while Chris has a vape today. And he starts bitching about the weather. And I go, dude, you were just screaming at me that it was too fucking hot. Now you're screaming it's too cold.
It's always too hot and it's always too cold.
Do you know who you sound like right now?
Who's that?
You know who. Goldilocks.
It just is. It's never fucking nice out.
Why don't you get Baby Bear's bed and fucking pass out?
You're coming off a little bit miserable, dude.
Yeah, he is.
You need to enjoy life.
Which I don't mind if he's miserable, but why is he bringing his misery to me? Now, by the way, the difference is I'm here in this lovely Mac that I'm wearing, as we called it growing up in Angolan. You people would call it a raincoat, but this is the way to dress today.
Yeah. His attire doesn't change much between seasons, I've noticed.
No.
So then that's a lot of the problem is he's too hot or too cold because he's got one thing he's got going on. I've seen him in a hoodie in like the freezing cold
And
snow is pouring
and the
down on
hottest
him.
day of the year.
Yeah.
I don't dress appropriately very often.
Here's what
Sure.
this is what he does when it's really hot. He wears his sleeping pants outside. His stained up basketball shorts. They're
Also known as his airplane pants.
Very comfortable.
Now, those things are stained back and front. So, you know,
Sharding problem again.
we're doing Earl's DNA test. I could just send your shorts to these same fucking people
They love
and
it.
find out everything there is to know about you.
Oh, God.
I like to say about his style, shit on one side and jizz on the other.
You know, I like that saying because it tells me exactly what we've got going on there.
You have a fun weekend? Did you go to brunch?
I did go to brunch, yes.
What'd you get? What'd you order?
Chicken and waffles.
Nice.
Delicious.
It was
Great
delicious.
choice.
But was they good waffles? I hate when someone does a shitty waffle.
They were fine waffles.
Now,
They
did you
weren't
do maple syrup on it or do you do honey on it?
great. It had honey on it. This
Yeah.
place, it was honey.
I would only do honey if I had chicken.
I've done maple.
I don't do honey when I don't have chicken. I do maple then. And I do it well. You know, I went out the other day to a little local diner near me. And look, I know New York is more expensive, but I paid a price that made it seem like I would have went out to a great fucking restaurant, not a local diner. And they hit me up on the brunch thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. No. This shall be the last time you see me coming in here. 2 people eating pancakes or eggs should not go to a price this high.
Yes. I've had that experience where you look at the bill and you're like, this seems like we should have had a couple rounds of cocktails.
Yes.
And yet you're talking about eggs,
Yeah,
bread.
it's terrible. And then I do have cocktails, and it makes it that much more worse.
How much are you day drinking? Give me like a quantity of drinks.
Like a brunch day.
Yeah.
You know, you can have 4 drinks at brunch,
Yeah.
and then keep it going over the course of the day.
So that's
mean-
not the actual number of your day drinking.
Yes, we
4
understand.
and then more of those.
We know that you drink on the way to work here. Melissa wrote this. I was super worried that Gail being back would soften the show, but I just heard call the baby Juju, Jew. So I guess the edgy racial stuff is still there.
Was that the reputation that I had before, Big Softy?
Yeah, I think it
Hey
was.
guys,
Don't worry. We're all anti-Semites.
As per usual.
Oh. Now, Pete Davidson is, well, first of all, you know our friend who is playing Lenny Bruce in
Ronnie Marmo.
Yes, but I'm trying to think. I think it's called I'm Not a Comedian, I'm Lenny Bruce. So, big hit in Los Angeles. Comes here to New York where I expect, the Village, Lenny Bruce. People love. So, I see him out front today. He looked very alarmed and told me the New York Times wrote a rough article, not on his performance, but basically the idea of Lenny Bruce, and saying perhaps, it shouldn't have been part of our mythology that we support Lenny Bruce's free speech, that maybe we would have been better off without a Lenny Bruce. And I go, would we have been better off without a Martin Luther King or a Gloria Steinem? Because that is the entire thing of free speech, is people were very uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think that's a dangerous game you're playing if you start to say.
It's a dangerous game that the left is now playing.
I know.
The right, on the other hand, are like, call everybody names. Let's do it. But the New York Times, who needs free speech as much as anyone in the world, you know what I mean? Like, this 100%. Is their backbone.
Yeah.
You would think that there would be an editor or somebody to say to that person, hey, you really, should you take a look at your views before you go putting them up in this paper of record?
Yeah, and also, we all know that comedy, there's a shelf life a lot of times to comedy, right? Because it's so much of its time.
Right.
And so humor is going to change. But not understanding the importance of something just because it's no longer funny and relevant is so dangerous and bad. It's just, that's not a good idea.
Well, and I bring this up because we are constantly in this thing. Today, of course, Pete Davidson in trouble for what he said the other night. And I thought what was interesting is not so much what Pete said or the people who would get offended, because even when I heard it, I'm like, oh, that's going to piss some people off.
Yeah, definitely.
But that Sean Spicer was calling for Lorne Michaels to be fired. So after I read that, I went back and looked at the joke. If Pete probably wouldn't have said just one word, this would have been a fine joke. You know what I mean? This would have been a passable joke. But he brought up, what's the guy's name?
Dan Crenshaw.
Did you get a chance to see this?
I did see this, yeah.
Yeah. Did you find it offensive or?
It was like one of those things where I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely not going to be well received.
Right.
For sure. Yeah.
And do you think somebody should have pointed that out, whether it was the two head writers or Lorne?
Yeah, I think just because of the time, not because it's good to do this,
right,
but because of the time, I think somebody probably should have said, hey dude, this seems like the kind of thing that is going to blow up in a bad way. And is it worth it? I'm also not saying 100% take it out.
Right.
Just go, is the joke worth who you're going to offend when you say it?
Well, yeah, because you do, believe it or not, have to read a room. You know what I mean?
Right.
In this case, their room is America. And for the people who missed it, well, go ahead and bring it up just from when the joke started. I don't want to go through the whole thing. So what he's doing is making fun of the look, not just that joke, but all the beginning, so you can get some stuff that's tied in with it. So what he's doing is look at some political guys and making fun of their looks.
Hey, Jay. So the midterm elections are obviously a huge deal. And after I had to move back in with my mom, I started paying attention to that. She's loving it. And I realized there are some really gross people running for office this year. So here are my first impressions. This guy's fun. Rick Scott from Florida. He looks like someone tried to whittle Bruce Willis out of a penis. Here's a New York guy, Peter King. I actually don't know a lot about him, except he looks like if a cigar came to life. This guy's kind of cool. Dan Crenshaw.
Oh, come on, man.
Yo, hold on. You may be surprised to hear he's a congressional candidate from Texas and not a hitman in a porno movie.
Stop it there. That's a funny joke.
Yeah.
Now, the reason, all right, so here's the thing. Dan Crenshaw wears an eye patch, and he's an ex-Navy SEAL, and he got the eye patch because he took, there was a bomb that went off.
Shrapnel.
Shrapnel went into his eye. But here's a guy in Texas running for Congress with an eye patch, who was an ex-Navy SEAL. You probably can't get cooler than this.
Right.
I mean, this guy is going to have everybody's vote. So the thing that pissed them off, I guess, is because I don't think he would have been in trouble for saying a hitman in a porno movie.
Yes, I don't think that that's the issue.
Yeah. What he said was, and I know we got it in the military or whatever, and it's the word that whatever.
Yes, and I think what he was doing is, you're playing it up like as though that he's the idiot for talking like that, right? Like he, in a weird way, he's the butt of that joke, right? Like, I'm the kind of kid, I'm a millennial who doesn't know what's going on or whatever. Yeah. And then you laugh because the idea is like, well, that's a big deal.
Right.
But maybe the depth of that is not going to come off. And when I heard him go or whatever, I knew that was the problem for sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But a hitman in a porno is a funny line, and when I think that anybody would get. But look at the guy.
Yeah,
it's not like he's a fucking good-looking guy with an eye patch. This is a dream.
He's
you know
handsome.
what I mean? That's a dream for most guys to think of. Being considered a good-looking guy and an eye patch, let alone ex-Navy SEAL, future congressman from Texas, because no one's going to stop this guy. You know what I mean? He could end up being president one day, because that's the perfect scene for us.
And that would be a pretty cool-looking president, too.
Yes.
It's just but kind of intimidating.
Look, I will tell you this, because you don't see eye patches the way you used to. There was a kid when I was in 7th grade who wore an eye patch every day. I didn't know him. It was I think we had 14 or 15 7th grade classes. And so I wasn't in one of his classes, but I would see him in the hall because you're basically a celebrity if you're a 7th grader with an eye patch, right? So, and I always think to myself, how fucking cool this dude gets to wear an eye patch every day. So he's in class one day, and I heard this story. I didn't see this story take place, but I had friends, and it went around the school like it was, it went viral even before there was such a thing as viral. It went what I would consider organic talking viral. So he's in his class, and the substitute teacher says, take that eye patch off. And because this lady thinks he's wearing a fun fake eye patch that the children would have. So the place goes quiet. He goes, I can't take off the eye patch. I wear an eye patch. Now, none of us had seen him without an eye patch. We didn't even know what the reason for the eye patch was. Did something go into his eye? Nobody knew. Was there a glass eye? No one knew. She starts demanding that he take off the eye patch. Now, 7th grade is probably, you're not a child, you'll fight back, but you're not old enough to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this because I've thought about this many years over. Why did he give in and take off the eye patch? That's been one of the great mysteries of my life. They've argued about it for a while. He was crying out of his one good eye as he took off the eye patch. Whereas I would be was nothing but a hole with skin, so the whole socket. something none of us had ever seen in our lives. He cried and ran out of the room down the street. At that point, other 7th graders in the class were crying and yelling at the teacher. The girls were crying. The boys were yelling, bitch, at her. It was fucking pandemonium.
Wow.
Can you imagine like being young and being, you know how kids, they don't even want to fucking have a missing tooth, let alone a missing eyeball. The next day, he comes back to school. Maybe it's 2 or 3 days later. Without an eye patch. Just had accepted and was forcing the world to accept his missing eye. And that was the first time I saw anything that I would describe as punk rock. He was like, you fuckers want to see this? Here it is. Take a gander into my missing spot.
Holy shit. That's like something out of a Stephen King novel.
I know.
That's so weird.
I know.
That's like the drama of that.
Yes. Believe me, I have thought about it so many times, and I'm still thinking about it. Is that woman considered what she did? Did she take that to her last dying day?
Did she absorb the moment at all then? Like, did she kind of look like, oh my God, I've done something horrible?
Right. I think she was removed from the school district since she was a substitute teacher. Do you think he's telling this story? Do you think that he said, and ever since that day, I refuse to wear an eye patch? Now, I say this because perhaps if Pete Davidson would have had this mythology in his, what if he had respected it a little more?
Yeah, I think he would have. I think that would have changed him.
That seems odd, right? Why there? So you think on that now before you make another joke about Mr. Dan Crenshaw.
I will.
Yep, Vito is just standing here now. Come in, Vito.
Hey guys, I got your pizza
Oh my God. You know I love food.
from Emily Loves Pizza.
Oh my God.
There's 4
Why are
different-
they,
Dude.
Why are they so small?
I didn't know they were this small.
Do you know how many people work here?
More than this.
We're all going to get one slice apiece.
Well, I'm psyched on pizza right now. I don't know if you guys know this, but as a new breastfeeding mom, I'm hungry all the time.
Oh, is that right?
Here's the
Starving.
different kinds. These are the different kinds we got.
You're not a waiter, you're a person.
These are today's specials.
I don't even know what I don't even know the words on this. What's a double what? Porcino. What is
Pecorino,
it?
double cheese.
Huh. Well, let me try a big inch.
That's a white pizza. And then there's the classic, which is
Well, let me
red.
just take a look at these.
Yeah, let's take
I can't have. What's that one right there? Is that big inch?
That one right there is
This
a
is the-
colony.
yeah,
That's
this-
their most popular one.
No,
The
this
colony?
is Big Ange because that's vodka sauce, right? Yeah, that's got to be Big Ange.
You're gonna have to reorder. You
Oh
got
my God, that looks
too many
awesome.
big men here. And do I not have beverages with?
Yeah. They're coming in.
Where? From where, Vito?
Original Chris will be bringing in beverages.
But why not bring it all in at the
Chris.
same time?
I don't know.
Why does he stand and look
He was with him.
in the window as I'm telling what I would consider? Look, original Chris is nowhere near that.
That's strange.
Vito, where's this place at? These things look fantastic.
They
This
look
is
so
Pizza Loves Emily. And she has one place in the city and one place in Brooklyn. And
And
everyone.
you've ate there?
I've eaten the Brooklyn one. This is the original one. This is the
Are you
original
surprised
pizza.
by the size of these?
Yeah, okay. I haven't eaten this one. At the one in Brooklyn, it's like a normal size pie, but this is somewhat different. But it's still the same recipes that they have in Brooklyn. It's all the same, and it's all.
Yeah, give me
very good.
one. I don't care what they are. I mean, this has turned into a nightmare. now.
People love this pizza. I've eaten there a few times. I really like it.
Well, why wouldn't you say to get a bigger one?
This is just the one they had at this location.
Well, then what you do is order more.
It didn't say the size. It just said the short style pizza.
Well, I'm eating a big Ange right now. That's
What
looking
is this one?
Treat yourself to your big
What's the one
Ange.
I'm doing?
big Ange.
That's a big Ange.
I got it. Oh, thanks, dude. Thanks so much.
Now, where is this in the city?
This is on
West Village.
West Village. In Brooklyn, it's in Crown Heights.
Chris, what do you want?
I'll take a colony. It's pepperoni.
He's fancy. He's gonna give it by its proper name.
That's their most popular pizza.
I would love this, but
Oh my gosh, so good.
Yeah, Emily doesn't make it. Her husband does. She's just like the face of the pizzeria.
what is she like? Little pizzas?
Apparently, she does. At least in Manhattan. In Brooklyn, it's, you know.
Look, I got to put this whole thing together because they don't know how to serve. I hate to tell you, but this thing's being run like an Italian wedding.
I mean, what is this? Italian wedding soup? The most disgusting of all soups, by the way.
Why? What's in it?
I don't know. It just really grosses me out. There's like a lot of wet leaves and little meatballs in it, and I really, really find it gross.
I never enjoyed it either. And I love soup.
Oh my god!
When
it was good.
Vito's aunt and uncle got married, his aunt had to be taken to the jail to Sarah Val's through the fucking bars.
Just they're all criminals, aren't they, Vito? Your entire family.
It's fine when they do it. It's not okay when you do it.
Why wouldn't it be okay if I do
It
it?
feels racist and hateful from you.
That's right. And Gail's got Italian.
Gail's got
Her
Italian.
husband Italian. My grandchild's more Italian.
This is
than
love.
anything.
This is family. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, la
Mi
familia.
familia.
You're just some fucking Irish guy coming in spewing hatred at me.
Hey, I'm also 20%.
I thought he was going to
Jew.
drop the M word
I'm
there.
going to say this about Big Ange.
Yeah.
I don't think I view this as pizza.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's something nice. It's delicious. But I don't know if I would officially call this a pizza.
Is it the vodka sauce to you? A vodka sauce can't be.
It's the texture. It's the... what's that?
This is the classic.
I don't want that.
You should have some colony. That's what you should have.
I'm going to
I'll
have
have
one
that.
slice
Give
of
me
the
that.
colony. And then I don't have to say, take the pizzas away because we didn't get enough for us to... You know what I mean? I can't eat in front of the children.
No. Children need to eat.
So Vito, as a fucking welcome back, this was a stab in our hearts.
Oh, I get it. It's baby sized. It's part of the theme.
Did it on purpose.
Now I get it.
And the ironic thing is, this is literally what you get mad at your interns for doing, not being prepared.
Yeah.
So now you know where they got it from.
Yeah, for me. I never been to this place. I didn't know about it. I just want to do something nice and
What do? You research, right?
yeah.
You would tell them how many people you have.
How
It takes
is your
fucking 5 minutes.
intern class?
We've had some problems.
Oh.
He's got a problem with the interns. Not so much the Australian one.
Mm.
Yeah. Mostly
He's the
Vinay.
one the girls like.
How's that accent? Good. Your people love an accent.
Yeah.
And his look. I'll say this. It is delicious.
It's so
but
good.
it is a pizza.
This version might not be, but the version I had in Brooklyn, definitely pizza. It's like a traditional pizza with these ingredients.
Why didn't you order it?
Because I didn't try. I'm not going to order from Brooklyn.
Was it this soft?
No, it was like a regular slice of pizza.
I know you don't just have to order from Brooklyn. This fucking kid doesn't know what he's doing. He's not smart the way people are.
Okay.
You could have said, Vito, was it his idea or yours?
He brought up the Emily Pizza. And I thought that I said, yeah, that's a good idea. I've eaten there before. It's a good place.
Did you think they were going to be 4 regular sized pizzas?
I thought they were going to be 4 medium-sized pizzas
Why because
because they don't make large, like giant.
You know how many fucking men work here?
Yes, That's why.
Mostly. Oh,
Or
but me.
real medium-sized pizzas wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, so it was a misconception. It was a mistake on our
God.
part.
Is this what's going to happen at Thanksgiving?
No, this isn't what's going to happen at Thanksgiving.
Why not?
It's because Thanksgiving isn't a pizza order. I'm very, very. I'm on top of Thanksgiving. A lot of great things planned. It's going to be great.
Oh my God. We were sailing along today. We were having a fun time. And all this happens. And you could cut the tension in here. It's Earl's DNA day.
That's the same as Rex Manning Day to me.
It tastes good though.
There's not enough of it, Vito. That's the problem.
You realize the same kind of excuses you're getting now were the excuses that you got mad at Finet for?
I
Seriously, or were you joking?
No,
but when you just say it tastes good.
I fucked up. I fucked up. I thought this place had better pizza. I heard good things about it. I didn't realize. I just ordered the pizza.
We should have looked into the pizza, Vito, and I signed off on it.
Gail, do you want another slice before I send this over to the children?
No, I just had to.
So we won't have enough. So take it over. Feed your fucking people. And every bite that they take is like a fucking stab in my heart.
Do you want one of these?
If she would, no, nothing. Of course not. You're going to take. Leave that one. You take those three. Oh my God, look how many napkins.
There must be a mess in there.
When we come back, we're going to try to put this discomfort behind us. We'll do Earl's DNA and get back to the way we're going. Bennington. It's the Bennington Show. Gail Bennington is back.
I have returned with baby in tow.
Just the baby's been hanging out in here, having a nice time.
She's doing good so far.
She's really being good.
I mean, she's more of a profesh than I thought she was going to be.
Well, profesh stands for professional. I'm not paying her. I'm just going to say that right now. Because I don't want to be caught up in any kind of those child labor laws.
It's just because female babies are paid so much less than male babies.
It's true.
It's really upsetting.
The problem is they do a lot less. Now, we wanted to thank Vito for giving 11 adults 4 personal pan pizzas. It was a surprise, if that's what you set out to do, Vito. That was a surprise. And we'll get even next time you have a request. Look, he just nods. It's radio you're doing. You're bringing nothing to radio. Earl?
Yes.
This is supposed to be your day. This should have been for you.
This is really your day.
Yeah.
More than Juju's.
And I do have your DNA stuff. Should I just say the surprising thing right up front?
Yes.
It looks like Earl is connected to a murder that took place in 1991.
This is not good.
Yeah.
You should not have agreed to do this.
It was a purse snatching gone wrong.
There was a Tupac or Biggie, but hey.
Oh, racist. Well, Earl, you know nothing about your roots, right?
Little to nothing, yes.
Yeah. And you always said if you went to Africa, you would like to go to where?
I always wanted to check out South Africa.
South Africa.
Mali.
South Africa is the only part of Africa that was really done up big time by white people. All right. Now, we have your ethnic background here, 100% of it. Are you ready, Earl?
I've been psyched ever since I took the test.
Vito, play the opening and the music.
I don't have any.
Look under that tiny pizza. I think it's funny that Chris left that we don't have it. As long as you've been doing radio, what would we like to do when we're...
Production.
Mm-hmm. Earl, let me just apologize to you. This is your day. The day that you finally find out who you are. The day that you can yell out, Kunta Kinte, I have found you.
Be James Earl Jones for a day.
Yeah.
She is so excited. She can't
Yeah.
stand it.
She's
The
amped up.
anticipation.
She's just a baby, though, you know? She just, this
When
is
you
her
think
first.
about it, she's kind of just a baby.
I mean,
It's easy to forget.
if anyone is connected to their original DNA, it's her. Not that long ago, she was both sperm and egg together. Okay, forever and ever. She's a good baby, though. She's a good baby, and Earl, I would love for this thing to say that you were the father of a bunch of children. Earl,
Yes.
despite not having production, a song, or anything to build this up, this is very, very exciting. And there is 34% of you are from a certain place in Africa.
Wow. 34.
Yes, 34%.
That's pretty.
That's pretty big.
That's a pretty big chunk.
Yeah. And your people are from the Benin / Togo or Togo area of Africa. Are you?
I'm familiar with Benin.
Yeah. When you began the beginning. So let's see this.
There it is.
Wow.
Now, Earl, here's something that I think is really, really shocking. And I don't know what that area, let me see it again. Well, I wonder what that was known as before, because these are probably new.
But been colonized and recolonized.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah.
But again, it is on the coast. I told you, I believe that a big part of you was going to be West Coast
Yeah.
Africa, because that's where they snatched from.
That's where they got him.
Yeah.
The W.
Now, here's the deal on this, and I found this fascinating. This is where the famous all-female warriors came from, the one that the Amazon myth was described on, and also it shows up in that Black Panther movie. But I thought of that immediately because of your sisters. You always said that your sisters were really strong, tough women.
Yeah. Then, very athletic.
Yeah.
My oldest sister was a star athlete in high school.
You're pretty much mostly from Wakanda. Straight up.
You really are kind of a Wakanda. So that's really, really interesting right off the bat.
My mind is so blown right now. I can't even put in the words how blown my mind is.
Your people at one point were great female warriors. Your sisters are great female athletes, and also have been hard on you and your brother. But I find that strong female thing to be really, really, and that's the first thing I thought of, is the way you've described your sisters before. The next part, Earl, is 25%.
Ooh, also sizable.
Now,
it's big chunks. Not even
these are big chunks.
Itty-bitties.
And the reason why we even did this is because you believe you had Native American blood. 25%. Yes, baby. 25%
She's into it.
of your ethnic background is Cameroon, Congo, and Southern Bantu peoples.
Cameroon!
Cameroon is my favorite of the World Cup soccer teams. They're really, really exploding on the scene right now.
Oh, that's exciting.
Now, let's see exactly where that is.
So there's Cameroon.
Yeah.
A little bit,
Just south of. Now, it's only Nigeria or in between the Benin and things. There's Cameroon and the Congo, which very, very exciting. So, Earl, we've already made up.
So that's over half.
59% of your background. So far, is this something that's exciting to you? Really?
Very, very, very exciting.
I'm really excited about the Cameroon.
Cameroon is Benin. I think it's Benin.
Yeah, I
have friends who've gone there.
And what do they think of it? Just put up some pictures. Just put up that and put up images
of the native land, the motherland.
Earl, you don't have to write it down. I'm going to give you all the
No,
information.
no, just write it down.
Oh my God,
like
that's
a
so
cub
cute.
reporter.
Oh, that was so cute. He's like, I'm going to jot this one
Yeah,
down.
let's see the area.
Beautiful.
Holy shit.
Is that you, Earl?
Earl, your people are very colorful. That can't be the way they look now, though. Take a picture of this. This is the town. And they liked it, Earl, when they went?
Yeah, loved it. And I think that's, I think I'm saying, I think Benin is one of the birthplaces of what we now consider the American blues, too.
You are kidding me.
Yeah, that's basically where it traces back to. I've been told that.
What is it, like the beat from there? The rhythm?
I think stringed instruments.
I didn't know that they had stringed instruments in Africa back then.
But I think that's where a couple of guys that I know went back there for to kind of trace it all back, like
Wow.
musical roots. But
So that's extra exciting to you for that.
I'm speechless right now.
Yeah.
I'm like legit.
Do you feel like for the first time in your life, you know who you are?
Yeah, no. At least I know where I come from, where it starts. But this is like, whoa! I don't know how accurate this test was.
Oh, it's accurate because the next one is another 15%.
Still another good chunk.
Earl, you were looking for the reason why this started was Native American. By the way, that sound that you hear, that's your ancestors calling to you.
Channeling through a baby?
That's
Yes,
your
that's
native
how they do
tongue.
it.
Yeah.
They channel through little white babies. I didn't think Earl was going to react like this, did you?
No.
You can see that you're visibly moved.
I'm going to be honest. I was like all excited, and now I'm just getting really teary eyed.
Well, I see that Earl. I've never seen him wet-eyed before. He's not a sentimental guy, but I can see that this matters. We're going to find out. You've got another 15% chunk coming in here. Will this be Native American? It is the Ivory Coast and Ghana.
Ghana.
Oh.
15% the Ivory Coast and Ghana. So let's take a look at them.
To the left there. Yep. Right there.
Also right in the same
Right next to Togo and Benin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your people, well, they seem like they're beach people, Earl. I don't like. They're always on the coast.
Do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy the water?
We got that great tan.
Now, what is this Ivory Coast? What is that? That
Yes,
That's
right
Ivory
here.
Coast,
Yep.
what do they call it there?
Like Côte d'Ivory.
Yeah.
Now,
I think
the
it's like
Ivory
almost
Coast.
French
Do you think that really has to do with ivory, like getting ivory?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the trade was very big then.
Earl, that's a major part of your background right now.
So that's like 70, almost 70%.
Almost
over 70.
Yeah, almost 70%.
70, almost 74. That's 3/4. Oh my god.
Yeah, 3/4 of you
Almost
comes from this coast of Africa. And remember, I told you I had a feeling it was going to be very coastal because I don't think
Yeah.
they went in deep.
No, they didn't.
The
They stuck with the West Coast. Midwest
Well, West Coast slaves are hip. Earl, we got another 11% here. That will take you to 90% of your background. You can hear your ancestors calling from above.
They sound hungry.
Would you like another sliver of pizza?
Oh,
Did you guys finish up the other ones?
No, they're still in here.
Why?
They're just there's more for everybody.
What do you mean more for everybody?
Like there's still more. If you guys want some more pizza, we have more pizza.
This 11% will take you 90% of your background. Earl is writing this down like I'm
You'll withhold this from him.
No, I'm
the way that he used to write down the numbers for people back in the neighborhood growing up. Earl, 11%. You were looking for the Native American in you.
Yes. If again, according to my father.
You mentioned this country a little while ago as we were going through.
Is it Mali?
It's Mali, 11%.
Wow.
Now let's see exactly where that is, Chris. That's your most northern
Yeah.
that
and
you
inland.
have now. Yes. And the only landlocked nation that you were part of. Next to Niger. And by the way, the African map has changed so much, I don't even know. You know what I mean? I don't even know where a lot of these countries are off the map. I'm going to force myself to know that. I know, honey. We're all surprised. We're all surprised. But you would think that a landlocked country would have a tough time making it in Africa.
I wonder if you're talking like those people migrated, like that comes from beforehand.
Interesting. Like they might have migrated down.
Yes, exactly. Because I would doubt that maybe, but I don't think they went in that far.
But also remember with this, it only takes one kind of strong person somewhere back in like the great-great-grandmother. You know what I mean? Like a great-great-grandmother or a great-grandfather would be, completely change that DNA over time. And I think the baby agrees with me right now.
Yeah.
So, Earl, that is 90% of your background. And why don't you read to me what I've given you so far, Earl?
So you said 34% was from Benin.
Yeah.
25% from Cameroon.
Right.
15% from Ghana. 11% from Mali.
Yeah. And of course, they've added, some other stuff in there.
So that's 85%.
It's 85? I thought that was 90% that we're at.
Well, I got my math wrong.
Yeah, I think that's 90%. So that leaves us 10%. And I'm going to give this away 90%. After this, Earl, we leave the continent of Africa.
We leave it all together. Wow.
Oh my God.
You are 90% African descent. The fact that you're 10% other is pretty surprising to me.
Yeah.
You're like Scottish or something?
Or what were you looking for?
I said Scottish.
No, but what were you looking for originally? Why did we do this?
Native American.
Earl, you are 4% Irish and Scottish.
Irish and Scottish. I said Scottish.
4%.
So that's probably Douglas came from somewhere.
Earl, can I tell you something? We're related. You and I can trace our DNA.
Hence the love for the firewater.
Yes.
Oh, we love it. Oh, the Douglases love to drink. Oh,
I
Lord
know
have
you do.
mercy.
Are you surprised by that, though?
Irish, yes. Scottish, somewhat. Well, ooh,
Yeah.
You're good.
That does not sound good.
It's
This guy's so nervous.
Believe me, the first time she did it, I was horrified. It's fine, I promise.
Did that vape go right in her face?
She just ate too fast.
Yeah. I eat too
Irish,
fast.
Scott. Oh, wow.
I normally eat too fast. I couldn't today with the tiny minuscule pizzas.
So
I guess it's portion
4%
control.
Irish, Scottish.
4% Irish and Scottish.
You know what's crazy? Like every time I met someone from Scotland at the Hard Rock, I would always felt a connection to Scotland for some reason.
Well, like you said, you do have the Douglas name. Are you ready for this, Earl?
Yeah.
Another 3%. English, Welsh, and Northwestern Europe.
English, well.
Yeah, English and Welsh. And you always have to know that, the English are Anglo-Saxons. So there's always German blood there as well, which you probably are. Or like a Denmark, like a Viking thing. Because the between those dramatic tribes.
They always intersected.
They always, conquered. These are conquering people. So that takes us to 97%.
So that's pretty much where. Is this an assumption that the Irish, Scottish, the English, that was basically probably from slave trade?
Oh yeah, that's all.
Unless Gail's pretty sure that it's rape, but who knows? Maybe somebody in your family dated some,
settler or visitor or something.
Yeah, maybe there was a young 1890s Eminem type. You know what I mean? That just loved the culture. But the chances are, because of the name Douglas, it could be a slave owner. I would love to find that out. And, maybe, we could try seeing if there's some kind of historian that could do this. But, I mean, if somebody would have said to me, your friend Earl, how much English, Irish, and Scottish does he have? I'd say, look at him. 0.
7%.
The fact that Kathleen from the Bronx is more Irish than your African shocks me.
Yeah, because what was her?
She was 98% pure Irish.
Right, straight down the line.
Yeah, and I mean, you got a full continent to play around with there. And she's got that one little island off the coast of England, and her people never got off.
98.
It's embarrassing. That means there's a lot of interbreeding. I remember one time she said to me, I want you to meet my mother and my sister. And there was only one person.
It's the ending of Chinatown.
Yeah, Chinatown. I said, relax, Kathleen. It's Chinatown. We got 3% more. Could Earl be 3% Native American? And what tribe? What tribe? If you had to guess, is Native American?
Iroquois.
Chippewa.
Seminole.
That'd be something if it was Seminole. Same people who own the Hard Rock Stadium. When did they name that stadium that? I just saw it this weekend. They were saying it constantly.
Naming rights.
Yeah, but when did that happen?
That happened, I think, last year, I believe.
This is how few Dolphin games I watch. Here we go, Earl. 3%. We'll find out exactly what kind of Native American that you are, Earl. 97% of you have already been figured out. There's only 3% more. Earl, you are 3% French.
What?
You are 0% Native American.
Hence my disgust for the French.
Yeah. Self-loathing is what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
You are 10% Irish, Scottish, English, Welsh, and French. Bizarre. Bizarre. Now, they also gave maps of, the crossover and all. I don't know why they put the one here, Chris. Do you know what this map means, the American part of it?
I couldn't tell because there wasn't any of his DNA from there.
Right. But it looks like a map from New York down to...
Like South Carolina?
Yeah, about maybe even Georgia, to say that maybe that's where you came in. Everything about you is wrapped around the Atlantic Ocean, which I find to be, wherever your people were, they were hugging the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, New York was a big port, too. It was a slave port.
Yeah, but since the slaves generally didn't stop here,
Yeah,
you know what I
they
mean?
probably worked their way down.
Yeah, they were kind of shipped after that. I find it fucking fascinating, though.
3% explains everything.
I never.
So much whiter than I thought.
Yeah, if somebody would have said, "Do you think Earl is 10% white?" I go, "No, I'm not really." What are you most excited about in your background, Earl?
Like the Mali, Benin, that part of it just blows my mind.
Yeah, that is definitely here. Go back to this part. This is basically your people. This thing here is where your people came out of. What's also interesting is when you consider that people, come from Africa, your family apparently didn't travel much after that. You know what I mean? Over the next millions of years. They're like, no, we like it here.
We had enough.
So they're showing there the ports too? Where they came in?
Maybe. I don't know. I can't read it exactly.
Crazy.
Maybe we can put this up. But I think this whole fucking thing fascinating.
That big swath right there makes a lot of sense. Carolina.
So they're saying that's where the Douglases have lived.
Yeah, and then I believe beginning in 1850.
Okay, let's take a look at that. So 1850 to 1875. Oh wait, did you? Yeah. So you're basically, Earl, pretty southern. Now go up to New York. Now there's nothing there.
Nothing.
All his stuff is southern.
Yeah, that I knew for
All
a
right,
while.
so around 19. All right, so I'm figuring this website out. So I click 1900, and then it has the Douglases coming from the south towards New York.
Well, that's what happened. Now put ethnicity. Click that though.
That just goes from the
whole thing.
the big picture.
All right, so then 1850. Are you telling me that that's when they think they got here, or before, or that's just where they were at that point? Go to 1875 now, and your family had pretty much stayed in the South, the furthest making it into Virginia. 1900. Some of you going into New York. 25. Now, let's see the link to tree. I didn't see this before. So, they're telling you to make your own family
Yeah,
tree?
you have to input the information.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I want somebody to do it for us.
Yeah.
I think that would be fascinating if we could get somebody to work with this now.
It also looks like some Douglases went to Ohio and Illinois around 1925.
If you look at the part of Indiana that they're in, right?
Yeah.
That would have been the same place that the Jackson 5 is from.
Earl.
I got people in Gary?
This is exciting.
Yes. You got people from Gary, Indiana. Now, Earl, have you ever met someone that you found out that you were related to? Have you ever met another Douglas that you were able to say, oh, we are related? Like, you didn't meet him at a family thing or anything?
No, not anyone that was like, we like second or third cousins or something like that. I don't know.
In my life, I have never met another Bennington other than my brother and sisters. I've never met a Bennington cousin. I've never met anybody that they said, oh, your uncle was my grandfather. Never in my life. So, Earl, in many ways, I'm like you, a slave, brought to this country that made it to Gary, Indiana, and became the sound man for what I consider the greatest boy band of all time, the Jackson 5. Are you thrilled that you know this information, or is this information that you reject?
Absolutely ecstatic.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is blowing my mind.
Can you wait to take this home and bring it to your family?
Yeah, I mean, it'll connect dots.
You think your family will feel good about it?
I think they'll feel my sisters, are you kidding me? The Pan-African-ness to begin with. So
Yeah.
just,
maybe as a family, you guys could go back there.
Yeah, go back to Benin
It would be wonderful
or Togo.
to go back to your family's basic birthplace and be slaughtered by the people who live there now.
it's like I remember watching, I forgot which part it was, the Scorsese thing that he did for PBS on the blues.
Yeah.
And I think it opens with them, I think, going to Mali.
This
And
is very, very exciting. The blues connection for you
yeah.
is very, very exciting.
Yeah, and I remember watching that, and I'm just like, I lost it. I was just like, this is the
You were
most,
crying.
It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And I didn't know why.
Yeah. Now you do know
Now
why.
I know why.
Your DNA was calling out. Your ancestors were calling to you,
I think the
saying, "This
birthplace
is us." You're from the birthplace of the blues.
And the other areas that you see how they made the moves from Mali to.
Would you be willing to go there and visit Earl if we put it together?
I would love to take a road trip. Are you kidding me? I would love to go
Well,
back.
it's over an ocean.
Hmm?
He said he wanted a road trip to Africa.
It is a road trip.
What's wrong with that, Earl? Chris?
He has to take a plane there first before he gets to
You can do a road trip by plane.
Now, by the way, I think on this site, now that they have your DNA, they'll send you matches. Like there's places to look for matches of people who are second cousins and stuff like that. There's a spot on here. I don't know where it is. Where it's like if you hit DNA matches. See if they've got any. So these are people here on the right.
Wow.
No, that's my niece.
What is it really?
Yeah, that's my niece.
The top
Oh my
one?
God. See, this
So-
says close family.
That's my.
Next one says first
my
cousin.
great aunt.
So wait, are we saying that people in your family you think have taken the DNA test?
Yeah.
This, yeah.
So these are people that are related to him who have also
Yeah.
taken.
So these are people that they are
They've already done the test.
barely sure. Now go up, go down one. This is great. That's a Stanley.
Oh my God. You're related to a Stanley.
We're cousins.
Oh my God. Third cousins. Oh my God. That's
This is
funny.
so exciting.
Yeah, I'm surprised my niece did it. I haven't talked to her in a long time, but
Why didn't she share all this information with you?
Yeah, really. Whole family should know.
Dude, that's awesome.
There are people.
And look at how accurate this is. Like you're like, oh, that's my niece, and in underneath it says possible range, close family, first cousins. You know, it's like knows that it's within in that exact
That's
range.
weird, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Earl, I would be willing to go back to Africa with you. And I'll take a lighter and a flashlight and be considered a god there. He has the sun in his hand. I think that's how they talk like Native Americans. He
That's
has sun
where
in hand.
probably your dad got confused. Similar accent.
You're thrilled though, huh, Earl?
yeah, this is.
Now, how
Wow.
do you feel about the possible 10% of rape, most likely? Not good?
I mean, that's. I mean, that it was. It was. You know.
It was what it was.
Right. But then if you think of it as dark and horrible as it is, it's weird to think like you would not exist if not for whatever that situation was.
I have a theory that is true of every human person.
Oh, yeah.
That all of us are a product that we'd have to be very thankful about two things. Rape is why we were here, and also cowardice. That there was some situation, some ancestor that ran away instead of going to the war.
100%.
Ran away when the family's home was attacked. You know what I mean? Like,
weird.
We have, this aggressive sexual predator thing and the fight or flight. We have both fight and flight in
But
us.
yeah, that's weird because you always hear like you are the product of the survivors, right? So you think
Right.
like, oh, I'm of the strong, like only the strongest survive. But some of that is like weakness and running,
Yes.
cunning, sneakiness,
Yes.
and like, yeah,
Probably turned in everybody else and
yeah,
took the reward and went down with
Weird.
it.
It could actually go the other way too. Who's to say let's say the black male was aggressive and
Yeah.
rapist with the Scottish.
Well, that person would be dead. Let's be honest about that. But yeah. So, or you could have had a black male rape a black female, a white. We all have it. Is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's in everyone. I hate to say that everyone's a little Italian, but there's no other way to explain that.
I don't think rape needs to be part of being Italian.
I'm
No,
sorry,
it
I can't
is.
hear you over the tiny little pizza.
Very loud.
Matt in Maryland. Matt.
Hey, gang. Gail, welcome back. Really great to hear you.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be back.
Oh. Earl, congratulations. This is really great. I just want to share a little bit with you about Mali. Timbuktu is in Mali, and that used to be the kind of the cultural capital of northern Africa. So you've got a lot of the historical writings are kept by the families even to this day. A lot of great music comes from Timbuktu. And if you want to look up one artist, Amadou and Miriam are a blind couple from Mali that do music today that I think you'd enjoy.
No, I'm very familiar with them.
But here's the weird thing. So you could have people. Your favorite band used to be Timbuk 3 in the 1980s. So were you first of all, Timbuktu. It's a real place. Not just something your grandmother yelled at you. All right, Kevin in Houston. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
What's up, buddies?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, black girl, man, you better watch out. Now they got your DNA. They're going to be fucking putting a case on you.
That's happening to a lot of people.
Yes, it has happened with a couple. Well, two very like big, high profile, like serial killer and serial rapist cases.
I also found out that the people who put this together are very unhappy that the federal government is using it this way because they think it's going to have less people doing it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is weird because when people signed up, they did not realize they were giving that level of consent. And
Right.
that's a huge level of consent. Like, I'd like to know my background and also give away a cousin of mine if he's ever done something wrong.
People are always saying to me, hey, why don't you do your DNA test? I go, I can't. I'm a serial killer. Earl, I'm going to send this to you so that you don't have to write it down. But it was very, very interesting to see Earl's face as this was happening.
I know, it made me quite misty.
Yeah. Well, until recently, right? African Americans didn't know anything about themselves because these were people that were snatched from their homeland.
Yeah. They have no history.
There was nothing documented either.
Yeah.
My grandmother wasn't. I think she lived into her 80s. I don't think she even had a birth certificate.
Your own grandmother
My
never had a
grandma.
birth certificate.
A lot of those documents either didn't exist or were not created or.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that is always interested is most of our families have kept family secrets. Most of my people in my family are going to get zip zilch. You know me. Ping, pow, boom. They're not going to tell you. It's personally, I always think if you want to find out anything about the family, the women know the secrets more than the men. The women keep the secrets, and a lot of the men are ignorant to the family secrets.
And strangely, they pass them on sometimes to the
other
younger
women.
women. So they're
Yes.
like, nobody talks about this, but this thing. And
Well,
you're like, whoa.
I have this
carrying
belief
that.
too, is like the women are the glue to every family, and that's why they would do this. That's almost like a mark of womanhood. I can trust you
Yeah.
with this secret. I'd bring it up to you, Chris, but you have no living relatives.
Not one.
But I think most families would agree that it will be the women who go and say, no, I know you had a fight with him, but we're bringing him back into the fold. Or they're also have been less likely to move away. Like the women tend to stay closer.
They're often the caretaker of the parents.
Right.
So for that reason, they often stay.
Yes, and even before that, the grandparents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll be keeping an eye on them. And there also isn't a great mythology about, the mythology is the young man goes off to make his fortune. There's not the mythology of hey, it's time for you to go up and make your mark in life, Maybe that'll be changing.
Yeah.
Now that we're in this new jazz age. You know what I mean? I guess that's what this is called.
It is.
The age of jazz. I'm very happy for you, Earl. I'm happy.
This is.
I hope it's
Wow.
Yeah. Look, I've never seen you teared up before.
No, this is like a lot of things connect now.
Yeah.
In a weird cosmic kind of way, but they connect.
You feel very. The fact that you said, "Am I Scotch?" was very weird to me. Hey, is it disappointing that you're not Native American at all?
I mean, I love the culture. I love.
Drop it, dude.
I love reading about it. I love everything about it.
Start to study the Welsh.
Now St. Patty's Day parade.
St. Patty's Day for
See
you.
there.
The Steel Day.
Pick up another surprising one. Pick up some Tom Jones records. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da.
Was he like the film? Was that was he like the
He's Welsh?
Welsh.
One of the real prides. Who was in here not too long ago that was Welsh? And it's the actor that was with Sarah Silverman a little while ago.
Michael Sheen.
Yeah, Michael Sheen. And I forget what he was doing, some kind of weird thing. And I'm like, the topography in this, it was just jagged. It was some kind of weird
like a horror film,
right? That took place. And just the trailer alone, it looked like this horrible, cold, jagged rock place. And I go, oh man, that just, that's scary enough. He goes like this, that's my hometown. He goes, we shot this one scene that you're talking about. On the other side of that is the playground for the school. The Welsh, it's, I mean, you know what's really like, even when we think of England, the amount of fucking just wide open spaces in the north of England are shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
And there's such like big cultural difference. And I think that's, Americans don't always know just the difference between North and South and the class difference and like, yeah.
Well, when Roger Daltrey was here, by the way, he's taking your place for the next GPS.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, it was exciting. I'm going to try to get me replaced with Mick Jagger.
This is huge.
Yeah, it'll be great.
And hopefully get a little kickback our way.
Yeah, it'll be nice. Is this thing going to sell some subscriptions? See if there's what bands are from Northern England. By the way, you don't know this because Earl wasn't in the room when you were leaving. Earl's the worst Google person in the history of the world. The worst.
Well, this is exciting because this is really my first day working with Earl.
Is that right? You've known him for 18 years and you guys have never worked together?
No, yeah.
Wow.
I had already started my leave when he joined on.
That was hard to get Earl back in here. How long did we work on that, Earl? And at one point, I don't think I've ever even told you this, but at one point I was up at the National Comedy Museum and I was actually traveling there. And Earl calls me and he goes, hey, buddy, I want you to thank you for, trying to bring me back into radio. I got a call and they said they were going in another direction. And I'm like, Earl, you're our only direction.
We picked you.
We don't have another person. He goes, that's okay. He was very kind about it. And I'm like, I'm furious about this. and I had to call all the bosses. There was no other person.
No.
So I know one like that's northern. I think Soft Cell, I believe, is like in northern England.
Isn't it like Arctic Monkeys and all those guys?
Soft
really,
Cell.
they're northern.
Soft Cell. Ed Sheeran is northern.
How far north? Well, I saw Ed Sheeran's fucking town. It looks cold as shit. It looked like one street, row houses, right on a vicious fucking ocean.
These are all bands from Yorkshire and northern eastern England. So
Does it say where Soft Cell is from?
Soft Cell is from Leeds. We're also
Live at Leeds.
Live at Leeds. Mel B of the Spice Girls, the Kaiser Chiefs are also there.
Let me take a look at where Leeds is on the map. John in South Carolina, you're on the Bennington Show.
Hey, Benningtons, welcome back, Gail.
Thanks so much.
As a lark, last
that's not
year,
that far north.
my family decided to do a DNA test, and it ended up that my brother wasn't related to any of us, not my mother, not my father. And we were like shocked, but like you had said, Ron, all the women in our family gone. There was no one to ask, where'd this kid, end up from.
So your mom was already gone when you did this?
Yes, my mom was gone. My dad was gone. All the aunts, even my older sister had passed on.
What has happened to in a lot of families is a lot of times the daughter has the baby, the mother raises it as her own.
Right.
Or there's a missing child that the family brings in and raises as their own and sees no reason to say this isn't the same as they do that out of complete love, that we're all the same. This is your brother, this is your brother, this is your brother. And that's fine when you're a little kid, but you should kind of know, your history a little bit as you get older. And of course, plenty of guys have been told you are the father that aren't.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we were shocked because brain issues run in our family.
Yeah.
And that's why we actually started going for a lot of these tests. And he didn't have it. And we kind of kidded with him, hey, you dodged a bullet here, Yeah. And but it was just interesting. And we always said, we always knew that he was the oddball. We were all like 4 years apart in age, and he was. Him and I were only 14 months apart, Irish twins, and we were, we never thought anything of it. We came from a family of six, it didn't matter. And
there was plenty of times, and I don't know if all kids felt like this, but I used to think I'm not like any of these people,
Well, so right away I'm thinking, okay, they took a kid in, and they just didn't want to tell everyone. But what if it's a switched at birth on accident
that
mistake
also happened back
in the hospital.
In those days? Yeah. I mean, they were pretty lax about that kind of stuff for years.
Those mistakes happen more often.
We kind of thought that maybe too, but I mean, not giving out too much. But my dad was a doctor, and we kind of figured that it was a very close family friend. The daughter got herself in a situation.
Right.
The family said that we don't want to put this baby on a doorstep, or leave it at the church. Hey, you're a successful doctor. This was out of Brooklyn at the time.
Yeah.
And, they said, hey, and it must have been a very close family friend.
Dude,
And,
you've got to watch this documentary, and I had Gail watch it about this same kind of thing about children that were separated at birth. It's absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, it was an amazing to show that how we are pre-programmed, we are wired. Who we are at birth is who we are, and it's pretty interesting.
All right, thank you very much. Now,
it's interesting.
Having said that, I would normally pick nurture over nature, and I don't know whether this is, but Gail reminded me so much of Gail the second that she was born. Like, I feel like she has the same kind kind of facial things that she does, the way that she acted, just reminds me of the way you are now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess for me, it's to be seen, but she has a personality. It's so strong, and she has things about her that remind me, that don't remind me of me or my husband, that they're just her. Like she was just born with a different spark than us.
That's why I always think it's odd the way a lot of people will see their kids as a reflection of themselves. I think it's almost impossible to do that, because why would they make the same decisions as another person? You know, so when your kid does something wacky, you're like, you've let us all down, and now where does that come from?
Yeah,
why can't you just be like, look at this dope and the dopey decisions the dope made? You know? That's the way I'm always surprised at Italians. It's so easy for them to kill a relative if the Godfather tells them to. You know? I guess they're just like marching ants. Glenn in New Jersey.
What's going on, Bennington?
Yeah.
So this is a little weird story, but I found out when I was 6, my mother told me, she sat me down in the bed and said, hey, you're adopted. And never really thought anything else about it, just went through life like that. Then in my 20s, my dad was diagnosed with lupus. So, then I started doing, I don't know, my mom was always weird about it, so I never really could ask her anything. So I just started doing some digging, and I found out that I was a typhus baby, and that my birth mother, left it open so I could contact her if I wanted to. So I ended up contacting her and it was more, I didn't want to reconnect or anything. I had a great family, so it was not like, oh, I'm so pissed. I said, all right, I just want to know if what medical stuff I had coming my way. You never know. So I said, all right, I contacted her. She told me a story where she's like, all right, well, I got pregnant from your birth father, but he has no idea you exist because he went off to war. I guess they hooked up and he went off to war. He ended up meeting somebody overseas and he ended up getting married to this woman. So she never told him. So I was like, I'm not going to go, mess with this guy. So I did a DNA test, and just to that was just to see what my background was. And that was maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So all of a sudden I get a bing this couple weeks ago saying, hey, you have a match. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Go on to the site. I look and it's like, hey, you have a close relative. It gives you categories and it shows you the tree where you would be. So it's it shows that we share the same father. And I was like, this guy didn't really catch on at first. And then I ended up sending him a letter, on a note saying, hey, I really don't want anything. I'm not looking for anything, but because we're connected now, if you could tell me any medical history, and I kind of gave him the background of, the birth mother, man, this guy froze up. I haven't heard anything. He locked his account, can't even send him a message. And it's kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
That's a shame. I wish.
Well, no. And I told him, I said, look, I'm not looking for anything. You could look at my Facebook and Instagram. I have a nice family. I have kids. I'm not desperate looking for money or anything. I'm like,
you're coming off a little bit that way though.
What do you want exactly?
Yeah, exactly. And
I if somebody would have come to me and said, "Oh, I'm your brother," whatever, or if some fucking guy showed up now and said, "Oh, you had a fucking one nighter with my mom," I'd be like, "Oh my god, this is great!" You know what I mean?
Why would
I'd be so happy.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
Yeah, I mean that's fun. You get through all the bad stuff, and you're just adults together.
Exactly. And a week later, his brother reactivated his account, and I guess they were just trying to see if he was connected too, and it showed the exact same thing. And I was reading their account, so they have it's 2 brothers and a sister. So I actually said to him, I go, listen, I have your dad's contact information, but I'm not going to send anything. I go, either you can break it to him or don't break it to him. But all I'm asking is if, for my kid's sake, to give me some medical background. And that's when he locked the account and everything. I was like, wow, it's crazy.
They don't want to split any money. This old man must have some bucks.
Yeah, it must
you know what I mean?
Hey, they're out in Hawaii. So I was like, hey, that'd be cool.
I'm sure he's been running the Golden Triangle over there for quite some time.
So it's just weird how some people are. And
yeah, everybody's a little Italian. That's what I like to say. They're just a little bit Italian, in their own way. Hey, Rich in Michigan.
Hey, hi guys, how you doing?
Good.
Good to have you back, Gail.
Thanks so much. Good to be back.
Yeah, it's always interesting to me when you and Gail are talking about the Italian family because I am from one. Supposedly, anyway. My grandma and grandfather on my dad's side were 100% Italian. They came over to the yeah. So earlier this summer, we were at a family get-together, and I had this test done that Earl had done. And when I mentioned to my mom that I had this done, her reaction was, "Really, you did? And what'd you find out?" And she was not happy that I had this done. Well, it turned out that none of my connections went to Italy. They were all from different areas, but none of them went to Italy, where I'm supposed to be a high percentage from. And when I brought that up to her, she immediately changed the subject and started talking about something else and didn't want to mention it at all, especially in front of my dad. So I still haven't figured out what that was all about, but apparently there's something going on there.
Yeah, everybody, believe me, every family has that. Right. All right, thanks, Rich. Thanks, man. All right, we've got to go to break here in a second, but we've got a brand new sponsor for the show.
If you're like us and you love popcorn but hate the way it's served hot, well, we have some good news for you.
Frozen popcorn. Popcorn so cold that you'll swear it's ice cream. Fresh popped ice cream, that is.
It's Jerry's Gold frozen popcorn. Jerry Gold likes it cold. Popcorn as cold as an Arctic winter.
Jerry's secret is that he only pops his corn in refrigerated trucks on his way to your grocer's freezer. It's warm until it hits the saliva of your tongue.
Once you've had it cold, you'll never go back to the old way. Hey, Dad, the latest superhero blockbuster is starting on Netflix. Where's the popcorn?
It's in the freezer, where it should have been from Jump Street. We've ruined our lives eating hot popcorn.
Well, no more. It's just Jerry's Gold frozen popcorn now and evermore. Available at cool stores and bodegas everywhere.
Jerry Gold's frozen popcorn. It's like an ice skating rink for your mouth. Bennington Show. Gail Bennington back. And oddly enough, she brought a friend with her. Juliette Bennington is with us today. And we were trying to figure out if she knows where she is, or she just thinks that I have an apartment with a lot of TV sets.
It's like he loved Blue.
I can't tell you how much I love having the baby at the show.
Dude, it is so fun for me to be here. It's fun because, like, I missed all you guys, my buddies, and hanging out with you guys. And then, after the last 3 months, I was, it's like nerve-wracking to, like, come back. And it just feels so good to have her here together.
Yeah,
it
would have been
like
weird.
my new friend meeting my old friends.
Yeah. This is
I
odd.
hope they get along.
Right away, it seemed like Earl didn't like her, but everyone else did. She was really staring at Earl, too.
Yeah, she likes Earl.
Well, Earl does a lot of faces, and he's trying to do... Chris hasn't made one single face or...
Look at her.
I try to avoid eye contact.
She's back yawning again.
Yeah, you're sleepy.
Yes, you haven't had a nap in 5 minutes. You must be tired.
You're getting sleepy?
She's like, man, that guy on so many TVs. He's got like 6 of them. My grandfather used to like to watch every single channel at the same time. This is my impression of how she's going to talk when she gets older. Yes, my grandfather's the king of TVs. You couldn't bring up a channel to him and he wouldn't know it. I found a baby picture of mine where I thought that she looked like me in this one picture. But two things about it. Number one, she looks different in every picture anyway.
She does, yeah.
And two, I was really almost embarrassed to see that my baby picture was in black and white.
What ancient relic is this?
And what is that giant thing that you're standing in front of? That was our family's car. That metal building that you're looking at. Hey, Carl. What's up, Carl?
Roddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did my DNA test.
Uh-huh.
And for years I'd look at my pictures of my family. They're all from Cyprus. And I was looking at they're not white people,
Right.
But we're always we're Greek. Well,
yeah.
It turns out I'm a third Northern African, Western Asian, which basically is a nice way of saying Arab.
But
anybody,
the Mediterranean. If you're anywhere on the Mediterranean, you've got to realize that all the trading and conquering that took place there.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're going to have Arab,
but a third is a big percentage.
It's a giant percentage.
I mean, that's a huge percentage of your heritage to not know to have any clue that was your background.
But Cyprus is in the middle.
Yeah.
It's just as close to one place as it is the other. And yeah, the conquest took place thousands of years of going back and forth with the conquest, Hey, Jen from Rhode Island.
Hi, guys.
Hey, darling girl.
I didn't get to hear the top of the show, but when I got in my car and I heard Gail's voice, I'm like, oh, this has got to be best of. And so then I checked the screen, and I was like, oh, my God, Gail's back!
I'm back, baby.
So happy. And don't get me wrong, Ron, you can play on your own, but with Gail's giggles and non sequiturs and comments, like the show is just that much better.
I would think so, but I feel like the baby has thrown off our time so far.
No, not at all.
She's stealing a lot of my jokes, I've noticed.
Yeah. The other thing I want to say is, at work, like when you're not on, I've been listening to previous shows on YouTube, and I recently listened to the Writer episodes with Sapphire.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That is comedic gold.
Well, it was based on a old Dusty Rhodes thing. And the thing about it is Fez is the one who had done the Dusty Rhodes. And I forget, David did something to mess us up. So I said that Dave was off the show. And I remember at the time, all of Dave's friends and fans were really, really mad because, they fell for the gimmick. And then the writer came back, and that went on for a while. But what was really, really funny is that Fez used to be furious because Dave would do no work to find that character together. You know what I mean? Hey, man, you know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't do Dusty Rhodes doing them. And Fez always knew that he would have done this bit 10,000 times better. And somebody told me that Dave is still doing the writer on his show.
I didn't know that.
Well, that's because you don't stay friends with him.
I think that's your best friend.
My first day as an intern was Dave's last day before he became the writer. And I was very confused when the writer came on the show 2 days later.
Juju, you didn't know about the writer?
I got one more silver dollar. Actually, ever look at when Dusty Rhodes did that bit. Because he was just so funny. Thank you so much, Jen.
So clever.
Peace. Dusty Rhodes, but he would just, at a time where no one did stuff, he would just reference stuff. And one time he was fighting with Sapphire and she had left him. And he was like, I'd offered up my inner thumb. They handled it with scorn. Come in, I said, to give you shelter from the storm. And he would not break character, nothing. It was all just totally normal to him. And I always just feel like if you didn't get the reference, you're like, what the fuck is he talking about now? I love when she puts a hoodie on.
Yeah.
That's
She
the
looks
funniest
good.
look. Scale. Yeah, baby.
What's that?
Scale 1 to 10. How much you love her?
I'm going to go with a good solid 10.
No, remember 10 was the top.
Yeah, that's what I chose.
That gives you no room to grow.
Can't possibly. It could just only be different kind of 10.
Yes.
What? Oh, boy.
Yeah, boy. Oh, boy. Mike in Denver. Mike in Denver.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
How are you?
Well, we're all good. The baby just got mad at us. What can we do for you, Mike?
Just wanted to say congrats, and it's good to hear Gail back.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. And what's funny is my wife actually gave birth to our baby girl 2 days after you. So to hear all your
Man, that's
updates
awesome.
and everything has been cool because it just makes me feel a little closer to the show.
Well, that's
that's
not. Are you
so
loving it,
awesome.
man?
It's awesome. It's quite the whirlwind, but I wouldn't change it for anything.
Yeah. Nothing can prepare you. I don't care how many people you talk to or books you read. It's like it knocks you over how wild the whole journey is.
Big
all right.
time.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks so much.
Are you already like at the point where you can't even remember what your life was before?
Nope. Yeah, it's really strange.
That's why when people are like, "Hey, you better grow up," you're like, they will. You know what I mean? Like you don't even have a choice.
You don't really have a choice. And it's easier than you think. I mean, like it's really hard, but suddenly you just start to like drop off what you don't need about your personality. You're like, well, I can't do that. I can't indulge that, so I got to go.
Yeah.
Hey, Juju. Hey.
Hey. She's having fun. She's having fun at work. Well, this was her first day.
She did good. I feel like solid show for your first show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't judge anybody by the first show. That's what I
No.
always
Oh my
say.
God.
You know, the first time I saw Earl in the air, I'm like, what is this? And then a couple weeks later, I'm like, I'm loving this Ivory Coast thing that he's bringing into it. Earl, I would love you to bring us some ivory tomorrow as a way of celebrating.
That would be great.
Some tusk. Brian and Charlotte.
Hey, Bennington, welcome back, Gail. It's good to hear you.
Thank you, man.
I'd like to register a vote for the baby as permanent third mic, please.
Oh
Yeah, I don't think. I think the baby can come in any day that she wants. She's pretty good at it.
We've proved
and
this.
most shows have a baby on the show. Most shows.
Yeah, everyone needs a show baby.
Yeah, show baby.
Yeah.
Show enough. Baby's here.
That's her catchphrase.
Yeah. She's a little gassy, huh?
Yeah.
Owen in Alberta.
Hey, Bennington, how you doing?
Hey, man.
Awesome. And Gail, welcome back and congratulations on the new arrival.
Thanks so much, dude.
No worries. Just a quick little side note about the DNA test. I did one of those about 18 months ago, just purely out of curiosity to kind of, trace back my roots. And I asked my family on both sides about, some of my ancestors, and I found out actually through it, something interesting that a lot of them had like genetic precursors to like illnesses like diabetes and arthritis and stuff like that. So it kind of acted as a way of, tracing back where I came from, but also some stuff that I wanted to talk to my doctor about, like, hey, you know what? These people in my family had this. Am I at risk for that? So if anybody's, interested in doing that, that's definitely, something to look into as well.
None of this even once occurred to me. You know what I mean? Like
the health stuff.
Yeah, you're in. That's what are you going to do? And you're human. I just say this. I know alcoholism and TB seem to be the two big killers in my family. And most of my relatives died what would be called, I guess, police bullet. And I don't know what a doctor can do to help me with that. Rick, you're on the Bennington Show.
Rick.
Hey, guys. Hey, Gail, welcome back. Congratulations on the baby.
Thanks, dude.
I'm hoping the excitement comes back because it got really depressing there for a while. After you left, no one cheered anymore when Ron put someone in the prize closet.
Oh,
it was
that's
depressing.
sad. Oh my God, I'll bring back the cheering for sure.
Yeah,
The cheering was exciting.
Yeah, they aren't cheering and they're not cheery. Brian in New Jersey.
Yeah, I'd like to wish Gail a mazel tov and vote for the song Baby Driver to be the new theme of the show since the baby is driving the show.
I like it.
Yeah, let's go out with Baby Driver. I was even thinking about this when you get back. I can't believe I didn't think of it. The way we used to open the show, now that we have the new opening,
I know.
we could close the show every day with a song.
That would be great.
And Baby Driver could be today's song. That's if my crew can find it.
Earl's looking for it right now.
Earl says he has it. How quick before we go to the song?
Earl, what time will we have to be out by?
We got about another 3 minutes. 1 minute, I'm sorry.
You forgot. No, we had the clocks, daylight savings. Daylight savings was a
Changes by
big
2
thing.
minutes.
We get started now.
So, you surprised yourself, huh, Earl? Okay. Colton, you're on the Bennington show.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Cool, man.
Love your guys' show. Congrats with the baby.
Oh, thanks. We're loving
you
it.
know what's really crazy is how everybody is before they have a baby. They're, I'm never gonna let my baby around this and that, and then afterwards, it's like, oh, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. And I think they always say that they make babies so cute so that we don't throw them away. You know what I mean? Like, so it makes it harder to walk away from them. But we like this one, even though she's getting a little tired right now. All right, we got to end the show. Let's end with Baby Driver. Welcome
good.
back, Gail.
Thanks so much, guys.
And just
Thank
to remind you, we do this every day.
Oh,
okay?
so
see you tomorrow.
Oh, boy.
Bennington Show.